Olá, está no ar mais um Nuclear Cast, o seu canal sobre o setor nuclear no Brasil. Eu sou Emanuele Bordalo e apresento esta temporada a convite da ABEDAN, Associação Brasileira para o Desenvolvimento de Atividades Nucleares. Hoje eu tenho o prazer de receber no nosso estúdio Henri Paillere. Ele é chefe de planejamento e estudos econômicos da Agência Internacional de Energia Atômica da ONU. Hi, Henri. How are
Hello.
you?
Very well. Thank you. Thanks for inviting me.
It's our pleasure. Henry, when planning a large-scale nuclear facility, what are the key variables that need to be considered to get the project off the ground?
Okay, there are many steps,
Mhm.
obviously, and it can take a long time, 10 years or more, for a country to initiate the construction of a large nuclear power plant. And depending on the circumstances, maybe there will be a phase where the country will do some energy planning, look at the value of a nuclear power plant in the future electricity mix, and make a number of assessments, and then come to a decision. Yes, we will go for the nuclear option and construct a large nuclear power plant. Then, in terms of subsequent steps, there would be calling for a bid to have different vendors, different countries offering their technology, and discussing the financing. And the financing is a key part of the whole process. There will be, of course, the need to have proven design, a proven supply chain, the workforce, the regulatory body that needs, of course, to be involved. So a lot of factors that are needed, and I would say all of them are needed to ensure that the project goes well from the start to the end. We've had some very good examples in recent years, especially in the United Arab Emirates, where they initiated their program and went through all the processes, and now they're enjoying a large scale nuclear power plant that's providing 25% of the country's electricity in about 15 years,
Wow.
15, 16 years.
Do
Yes.
you believe the process has become more quickly in recent years or not exactly?
No, because I mean there are more complex technologies to handle. So maybe compared to the construction in the 1970s and the 1980s in the US, in Europe, it is taking a lot more time for large scale nuclear power plants to be built. Um, Having said that, there are some countries in the world, like China, like Korea, they have a long, Russia also, they've never stopped building nuclear power plants. So they have the expertise, they have the workforce, and they generally build on time and to budget.
Interesting. So there's a lot of factors. Like
Yes.
it's just not only the construction, but political factors, of
As well.
course.
Yes. And also public consultation and, the buy-in of the project also from local communities. That's also very
Yes,
important.
yes, of course. And how does the agent support countries in conducting economic studies to help advance their nuclear
Okay, so
programs?
that's actually
Your
in my
job.
field. It's my job. So we provide a number of tools and capacity building to allow countries and the experts in those countries to conduct economic studies, assessments. So we have expert missions, we have workshops where we invite representatives of the member countries to come and learn about financing, about cost estimation. So we do a lot. I would say it's our daily job to provide this capacity building, to share
Mhm.
expertise and knowledge. We bring in experts from the private sector, from the industry as well. So yes, this is how we provide support to the member countries. For countries that have nuclear power, but also countries that are looking at the nuclear option, we have a little more than 30 countries that are newcomers that are looking at nuclear and would like to have all the tools at their disposals to make a proper decision based on their circumstances. Not all countries will go
Of
to
course.
the end and build a nuclear power plant, but at least they will have the tools to make the assessment and the
Great.
decision.
Yes. And what are the main challenges when it comes to finance nuclear projects? Like you mentioned, this step by step, but how you can adjust them
Yes.
if a country is thinking about build nuclear plants. What are the challenge?
Well, the challenge is, I mean, a nuclear power plant project is a capital intensive. It's very expensive. It can take a long time for the construction to take place, and all the parts, all the steps before the start of the construction. So I would say it's all a matter of assessing the risks and minimizing those risks. So in terms of uh, financing a nuclear project, the construction risk is one of the major risks.
Mhm.
Is the company that's building the nuclear power plant, does it have the expertise? Does it have the workforce? Has it got the maybe experience of building nuclear power plants before? So that's a very important part. And also the design. Is it a proven design or is it a first of a kind? In this conference, we're talking a lot about small modular reactors. Most of them are still at the design phase. So the construction of the first one will be a first of a kind with a lot of risks because people haven't built that design before. So construction risk is an important part. Then you have also revenue risk. Nuclear power plants is expensive. And the investor, the company that will operate the nuclear power plant, needs to be reassured that in the future, in the 10, 20, 30 years after the start of operation, it will have revenues from the sale of electricity. And this also depends on the way the electricity markets are designed. In some deregulated markets, where you can have fluctuations in prices, even very low wholesale prices, then it's very difficult for nuclear power plants to compete with maybe wind or solar that have a lower marginal cost, low cost. So there needs to be some, I would say, mechanisms like power purchase agreements to ensure that the operator will get revenues from the sale. Then there are a number of other risks, like political risk. If there's a change of party, will the project still be a priority for the country, or is there a risk that it might be cancelled? Then you have regulatory risk, and this is also maybe more important for first of a kind construction, where the design hasn't been maybe fully completed, and then the regulator may ask to change the design as the construction has started, and that will generally lead to delays in the construction and cost overruns. So really to build on time and on budget, which is what the investors want, you need to assess all the risks properly and do everything to minimize the risk to the project.
Perfect. And we also have like the environmental and the public support or not in
Yes,
the
yes,
question.
yes, exactly. So, yeah, for once there is a decision to build a project, there needs to be an environmental impact assessment, and usually this is communicated to the local communities, to the public, and there are these consultations so that the communities are agree or understand the benefits of the project.
Do you believe like the stigma around the word, the term nuclear, makes it harder to get like the
Well,
support?
yes, I mean it's a challenge to talk about nuclear power, and there are a lot of misconceptions as well. I think we need to be completely transparent about the risks, but also the benefits.
Mhm.
And there are many benefits in terms of jobs, in terms of providing the country with electricity at stable production costs, a spin-off from the nuclear industry. There are also benefits of nuclear technology, not just nuclear power, but like medical radioisotopes, and so all these need to be explained to the population. We find that actually people are very curious.
Mm-hmm.
They're not always well informed, but they're curious, and so there needs to be let's say more information and opportunities for people to learn.
Perfect. In your opinion, what are the most promising develops for the future of the nuclear sector?
Oh, well, I was mentioning small modular reactors at the beginning. This
It's
is
a trend.
it's a trend. It's a promise of of a new technology. It's not always new compared to what we know. It's sometimes it's just an evolution of existing technology. But there's one area which I think could be very promising. It's the non-electric applications of nuclear power. Nuclear power has been used for more than 5 decades to produce electricity, and it's one of the world's lowest carbon emitting technology. So in terms of providing clean electricity, decarbonizing electricity, so it's really a very good technology. But there's one untapped potential, and that's not in the field of electricity, but in the field of heat, or maybe producing desalinated water. And why do I say it's really promising? Because in terms of electricity, there are a lot of options for countries. If they want to low carbon electricity, they can look at solar power, wind power. They can look at hydropower if the country has a lot of hydro, like in Brazil, or nuclear power. So there's a choice. But when you're looking at and there's a need for industry to have heat. Today, the heat is produced from burning fossil fuels. How do you produce low carbon heat? And there are not a lot of options, and nuclear is one of them. It can deliver heat with no emissions, and that's been used before. Actually, there's a long experience, but it's limited experience for district heating. Some countries in Europe, Switzerland, or in East Europe, in Russia, and more recently in China, they're using nuclear power to provide district heating to local communities. Has 2 benefits. One is no CO2 emissions, and the other one is no air pollution. So it also has the advantage that it maintains the atmosphere clean, and so there are also health benefits for the populations that don't absorb all the smoke and the particles from burning fossil fuels. But this experience could be expanded more in the future to produce heat for industry, and also maybe maritime transport. That's one of the hard to abate sectors, one of the industrial sectors that is very difficult to decarbonize, because shipping, you cannot use the batteries for shipping. So you can consider maybe using hydrogen or ammonia as fuels, but you could also have nuclear propulsion for cargo ships. So that's also a very important potential, and that I believe in.
That's very interesting because you mentioned China, and in the country, the investment in nuclear has become also a response for public health
Yes,
problem, because with the air pollution that you
yes,
mentioned, the nuclear evolved as a solution
yes,
for that
yes.
problem.
And it's also some facts that the local populations, they perceive immediately. It's very difficult
Mhm.
to understand about CO2 emissions. It's not something that you feel immediately, but air pollution is something that the local communities understand very well, because it makes their life
Better.
better, and fewer health problems, fewer fatalities. So that's a huge potential.
And how do you view Brazil's current position in the nuclear field? Like we have a nuclear plant being developed. We have like many projects
Yes,
ongoing.
yes. So I mean, and this conference is also quite eye-opening for me. I mean, I see that Brazil is a pioneer in very different fields, medical radioisotopes, hydrogen production using nuclear electricity, of course. So I think there's a huge potential for this technology to grow in Brazil. I think also you have a very qualified workforce, scientists. So the very good potential. Maybe the nuclear program is quite small
Mm-hmm.
compared to other countries, but I think the possibility to expand it and to expand it in new areas is great.
And finally, what message will you share with someone who's considering investing or starting a business in the nuclear sector?
Okay. Well, I would say, of course, assess the different technologies and have a business plan and so on. But really, maybe my main message would be invest in human resources. That's the precious commodity is the experts that have an education in nuclear and are able to support the development of a business. You need to invest in the people. That's a very important part, and it's also a limitation to the expansion of nuclear energy across the world. It's the availability of human resources and workforce.
There's a very good advice because in Brazil we face a dilemma with the brain drain in the sectors
Yes,
related to engineering. So
yeah,
human resources is a
and
challenge and a
yes,
solution.
and the 21st century is a century of mobility. People can move from one country to another. The nuclear sector tends to offer good salaries, so that is a way also of attracting talent for the future.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Henry,
Thank you.
for this
It's my
interview.
pleasure.
It was a pleasure to receive you here in our
Thank you.
studio.
Thank you.
Eu quero agradecer também a nossa audiência que acompanhou até aqui e a toda a equipe da Abidan, que está nos bastidores, garantindo que esse podcast nos permita ter conversas tão enriquecedoras. Um abraço e até o próximo episódio.